Hello, I'm here online, live on the topic foreign policy of Pakistan. So somebody may just write that are you, okay, the CSP is okay, thank you. So the CSP is okay. Jamil Ahmad Solangi joined, okay, thank you. Jamil Ahmad, you are the first one, Solangi, welcome. So Jamil, can you tell me what is our topic today? Please write the topic in the comments. I want involvement of the participants. Altaf Ji is also there. Okay. So please write the topic. Taimur Nusrat. What is the topic today? I want that you should be conscious that what we are going to talk today. Okay. So 10 people are watching the video. So please, I want that somebody should write the topic. What is our topic today? Foreign policy of Pakistan. Who makes it? Who implements it? Yeah, but this is not the exact wording. Umar Farooq, you wrote foreign policy of Pakistan, who makes it, who implements it. This is not the exact wording. Sheikh Hussein, foreign policy of Pakistan, no. I want active, dynamic people. They must be conscious of what we are going to talk today. The foreign policy of Pak, no. Please be vigilant, active, dynamic, keen observer. Exact wording of the topic, who will write it? I want to see one word which is very important and which is the first word. Chaudhry Muhammad Tayyab, he joined, but please, I want to see the topic first. Anyone among you, what was the topic of our today's discussion? Yeah, Sayyid Basit Shah. Sorry, sir, I just wrote it in such a hurry. Don't write in hurry. Timur Nusrat, write it. Hafsa Umar may write it. What is the topic for today? Sayyida Fiza, not foreign policy. This is not my topic. Foreign policy is not my topic. Moonbeam. Understanding foreign policy of Pakistan. Good, Shoaibur Rahman. Excellent. Yeah, understanding. I am obsessed with the word understanding. This is my obsession. Foreign policy of Pakistan, who makes it, who implements it? Jamil Ahmad Solangi, no. The word was understanding. Okay. Hello, Hafsa. Welcome. The topic today is understanding foreign policy of Pakistan, who makes it and who implements it. So the basic purpose that after today's session, you people must be aware that what is the foreign policy of Pakistan, to understand it completely, who makes it and who implements it. So Sayyida Fiza says, what's your topic? If you are online, if you are here on live, you must know what is the topic. Otherwise, there is no, benefit. We must come here prepared, not just listening to me, because I focus on understanding, inculcation. The things must become part of your mind and your behavior. My approach is psychological. Pedagogy, the science of teaching, tell us to instill the things that the people ingrain it in such a way that it becomes part of their personality. Not just reading and listening, no. In receptive and productive skills, we receive information. Which are the receptive skills? Yes, about practical or theoretical aspects. We will talk about both practical and theoretical aspects of facts of foreign policy. So when we listen to something or when we read something, this is not enough. If we understand, then we will be able to speak and write on that topic. So my today topic, that is understanding foreign policy of Pakistan, theory, practice, who makes it and who implements it. So now let's start. Is my approach linguistic analysis. First go to the words foreign policy. Sometimes foreign policy, it is a misnomer. Foreign policy means that this is policy for foreigners, or it is made by foreigners, because the word foreign is foreign to us. Why we call it foreign policy? Because this policy is for foreign countries, other countries, not our own country. But this is the foreign policy of Pakistan. So Pakistan is also involved in the foreign policy. There are 200 countries in the world, members of United Nations, and each country has its own foreign policy. Nobody can impose foreign policy on you. For example, each individual, we have our own policy. What is policy? Please, somebody can write the definition of policy. When we say foreign and when we say policy, so what is policy, by the way? Anybody who can define, the students of management sciences, public administration, political science, can they tell me what is policy? Anybody who will define policy? Foreign affairs, moonbeam, foreign affairs are affairs, while policy is totally different. There is a difference between foreign affairs and foreign policy. We are talking about policy today, not about foreign affairs. Foreign affairs are what is going on in the world. And we are narrating those affairs, that is foreign affairs. But policy is something different. So I would like to see that someone amongst you who can define what is policy. I'm not receiving comments. Maybe some problem of communication. But policy is a plan when we want to achieve an objective. So we make a plan how to achieve that objective. We want to reach our destination. So we prepare a plan, a map. Okay, this will be my policy. These will be my steps. I will take these steps and then I will be achieving my purpose, my goal. So that is called policy. So please, I want to see what is your definition of policy. What is policy? When we want to discuss foreign policy, so we must understand what is the meaning of the word foreign and what is the meaning of the word policy. Then we can understand it in a better way. I don't see the comments. I don't know if there is some problem. Maybe the problem is here or there. Please write something that you're listening to me and I'm okay. Yes. I don't see any comment. I want to see comments. Your definition of foreign policy. The last comment that I see, that is Moonbeam, who wrote the word foreign affairs. So I want to go beyond that. That what is foreign policy? Okay. Okay, let's continue. If you are listening to me, Shazib, please tell me. Thank you very much, Shazib, that today you provided me this opportunity of talking to so many people. But I don't see the comments. There may be some problem. So please, Shazib, tell me by WhatsApp or by, am I live or not? Okay. If everything is all right, so I will continue on my discussion, understanding foreign policy. Shazib, everything is all right? I don't see comments. Okay. 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 Good. Okay. Thank you. So, the foreign policy of Pakistan, the first statement of Quaid-e-Azam, the founder of the nation, he said that we will have friendship with everybody and we will have enmity with nobody. So this statement of a new country, nascent country, that was very important, that we are friends of everybody. So at that time, our approach of the foreign policy, that was not ideological, that we will be only friends of Muslim countries, and we will be friends of only capitalist countries, or we will be only friends of communist countries. No. Quaid-e-Azam, the vision that he gave, that is very important. And that vision was that we will be friends of everybody. Now, this is not the foreign policy, for example, of United States. United States, being a superpower, a veto power, can say things different to the foreign policy of Pakistan. For example, Donald Trump the other day said that we will destroy North Korea. We will annihilate, we will exterminate, we will, root out North Korea from the surface of the world. Pakistan can't say such words. This cannot be the foreign policy of Pakistan. So when we talk about a country, there was my friend, and he told me he was from Africa, and he said that I'm ambassador. I represent my country, but I don't receive that importance which the third secretary, the assistant director of United States, receive in any international conference. Why? Because behind that third secretary or that assistant director, which is the lowest role in the foreign policy mechanism. So he said it, I'm an ambassador. I'm plenipotentiary ambassador. Plenipotentiary means that you are representing your state with full powers. You can do whatever your country should be represented. But if the ambassador doesn't receive that much significance, it means that the country behind the ambassador is also important. Not only the diplomat or your foreign policy implementer, but the country itself is also important. So each country has its unique foreign policy. We should try to understand this thing, that our geostrategic position, our history, our people, our economy, our culture, all these are the determining factors of our foreign policy. We can't make our foreign policy in isolation. The foreign policy of North Korea, Pakistan, United States, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Angola, Argentina, Brazil, all these countries will have different foreign policies. And foreign policy is the reflection of your country inside. So when we talk about the Quaid-e-Azam, when he said that we are friends of everybody, so this was a very unique statement, because then everybody will accept you. At that time, Iran was the first country which recognized Pakistan. Afghanistan did not recognize at that time. India recognized Pakistan later. And other, at that time, the reaction of the world for Pakistan. So the first broadcast of Quaid-e-Azam, that was towards United States. And the first foreign visit of our Prime Minister Liaquat Ali Khan was also to United States. Why? Because Liaquat Ali Khan personally, he was against communism. USSR at that time, that was a communist bloc. So we could not be part of the communist bloc, and that was a very wise decision. Sometimes the people, they don't understand the realities. You might have heard the famous story of Khizr and Musa. So sometimes the wisdom, Musa was a prophet, but he could not understand, comprehend the wisdom of Khizr, whose prophethood is controversial, that he was prophet or not. But he was a wise man. He could see things with the eyes of wisdom, which Musa alayhi salam could not see. So sometimes your boss looks at things which you are just like boiling, and you are in such a mood. Why this my boss is telling me this thing? This is totally irrational. This is not good. This is not nice. This is nasty. Why? Because the boss looks at things, foresee things behind the wall. So the visit to the United States and being part of the CENTO and C2 at that time was a very wise decision, because future is democracy, future is free market economy. And then we saw that there is no more USSR. There is no more USSR. Okay. So we are now in a stage after 70 years of Pakistan that we now have a clear policy. In the beginning, we had different situation. At that time, Pakistan was very new. The India, the basic assets which were remained in India, Pakistan just got Lahore and Karachi. All other cities, those were not developed. Even Lahore and Karachi, the people used to use thorns as pins for attaching the papers. So that situation was totally different. So we need, and today we also need, and at that time we needed allies, because foreign policy gives you the plan that how you will establish relations with other countries. This is the plan, and we must remain realist while formulating our foreign policy. Idealism is not a good approach in foreign policy. For example, there is a Rohingya issue in Burma. So the idealist will say, and they will quote verses from the Holy Quran, and they will say, come on, take the sword and go and do jihad. So this cannot be the foreign policy, because foreign policy must be on rational grounds, reality, looking what we can do. If you go to Burma, which is a sovereign state, and then Bangladesh is involved there, so how will be your bilateral relations with Bangladesh and Burma? Yes, it is a humanitarian issue, but it is not a foreign policy issue in that sense. Humanitarian issue, you must go to United Nations, you must put pressure, as Canada is doing, as Pakistan is doing, as many other countries are doing. They are putting pressure on humanitarian grounds, but you cannot put pressure on political grounds, on bilateral grounds. You cannot declare war against Burma or Myanmar. That is not foreign policy. Exactly, Ayman. Now I'm getting the comments and the definitions of plain and foreign policy. That what is foreign policy, and when we outline our outlines, the way how we will achieve our objective, so that is called policy. And policy is not permanent. Policy can change. The state of Pakistan is permanent. This is a reality. It will never change. It cannot be changed. We cannot make a policy against Pakistan. But the foreign policy of Pakistan will always be there. And this will be in the interest of the state of Pakistan. But the foreign policy can change. Look at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website and the foreign policy there. So there are, now we see the words dynamic, progressive, welfare, developed. Now these words for our foreign policy were not there before. But now we understand that we must be progressive, we must be dynamic, we must be developed. This is need of the hour. If you can't do these things, so in the Committee of Nations, you will lose your importance. So now I'm getting the definitions, and all of you have written correct definitions. So I have already started the session, Hafsa, and I'm speaking. I hope you are listening to me. Exactly what I was talking, that the foreign policy is not constant. It can change. If circumstances in the world change, so we should also be flexible. There was a time, and the most important year in our foreign policy is 1979. 1979, when USSR, the erstwhile USSR, attacked Afghanistan, and somebody told us, Bush, you are with us. That was later on. But at that time also, we were approached that you are with us or you are not with us. So our reaction to that foreign approach to us is our foreign policy. At that time, we were making mujahideen, and they were so important pillars of our foreign policy. But today, nobody will talk of mujahideen. Now, this is a totally different era. So now we have to adjust our foreign policy according to the new circumstances. That what are the circumstances now? Now, I think many people that have joined. So I will come to a very sensitive part of the foreign policy. Some people say that foreign policy is made by army, by security agencies, by ISI, by others. So, and then foreign office is a stooge, that is just a puppet. And foreign office or Minister of Foreign Affairs, they do nothing in that. So again, a rational approach, in each and every country, there are security agencies. If it is CIA, if it is Mossad, if it is ISI, if it is any security agency. So security agency is the indispensable part of the apparatus of state. State can't be run without security agencies. Because realism tells you that there is anarchy in the world and you must protect your interests. And diplomacy, for example, a diplomat, sometimes we say that you are a diplomat with me. So you are hypocrisy. You are a double person who is playing double game. You know, a diplomat will never say you yes or no, but there will be in between kind of thing. So security agencies help the foreign service officers, providing them input, because their eyes, they look at things from another angle. They are in the reality. They go and they see the situation. For example, we see there is our security agency agent is in Uzbekistan, and or maybe in any other country in Africa, and he or she sees somebody with a bomb, and then that person applies for Pakistani visa. So a Pakistani diplomat doesn't know the background of that person. So there must be a connection that may be a security threat to the country. But we don't see behind or beyond that situation. We see things from a limited perspective. So involvement of the security agencies in foreign policy is a prerequisite that is indispensable. A civilian bureaucrat can't do without the help of the eyes of the spies or security agencies. Everybody does it. Every country does it, not only Pakistan. If Pakistan does it in an efficient and effective way, so the credit must go to our agencies, that they are strong. They are not like, just by the name. They perform their duties. I was teaching, Portuguese language to some people, and later on I understood that they were from the security agency, and I had a very, close contact with them. So their patriotism, their love for the country, that is so deep. Yes, Sonia Kowal. Friendship with everybody, enmity with nobody. Exactly. Is it possible? Very good question. It is possible, because sometimes, if you are a receiving state, if you are not a state which is like a superpower or a veto power, so you must have good relations with everybody. You must. But if you are a power, a regional power or in the multipolarity, if you have a pole, if you have veto power, then yes, you can say, you can like and dislike. As beggars are not choosers. You cannot choose, yeah, he's my friend, or she's my friend, or she's my enemy. No, you must be on good terms with everybody. If you are a strong, a Chudri in a village, then can take the risk to be enemy or to be friend. But a common man, cannot take that risk. Although I don't say that Pakistan is a common country, we are the most, sixth populated country in the world, and nuclear power, our military is very strong, our economy is booming, we have the CPEC project, we are proud of our culture, our Indus civilization, our Muslim history, Gandhara, Mughal era. From culture point of view, from economy point of view, Pakistan is not an ordinary state. Pakistan has a very important role in the world. There are more than 100 embassies of Pakistan in the world, and there are more than 100 embassies of the world inside Pakistan. So the presence of the embassies of Pakistan in the world and the presence of other countries' embassies in your capital, that is one of the parameters that you can judge how much this country is important to the world. So in our foreign policy, click on blank space to see comments. Okay, thank you. I'm clicking on the blank space, okay, to see the comments. I will write the word comments here. Okay. So we will go back to the topic. One was that we should be friends with everybody, because till now we are not at a stage to be a power, and then we can choose our friends and enemies. We are at the developing stage. We are not a developed country. So at this stage, we should be friends with everybody. And in the foreign policy, the regional powers or the regional situation, that is also very important. We must be good friends with our. By Agha Shahi wrote, Jinnah believed communism antithetical to Islam, so his statement disturbed the future trajectory of Pakistan policy. How can it be enmity with none? Sayyid Hassan Shah, yes, this is a good observation, but the visionary Qaid-e-Azam, he was a realist. He could see at that time that what is the future of the world. The future of the world was not communism. The future of the world was capitalism, free market economy, development, and democracy. And today we see, after 70 years, that yes, this is the reality. We are with Europe. Europe is our trade partner. United States is our trade partner. Japan is our trade partner. Malaysia, Indonesia, we have good relations with the East Asia. With the Middle East, we may not have trade, but we have also other good relations with them, political relations. So the trend, the fashion, you can see the people change their clothes according to the fashion. So the same is foreign policy. You look at the situation. If tomorrow the whole world becomes communist, so we will be, we will be admiring communism, that communism is a very good system and we must go for communism. But this is the reality, emotions or sentiments, feelings, it cannot be used in foreign policy. So I was talking that who makes the foreign policy? Legislature, parliament, Ministry of Foreign Affairs provide the input, and the parliament that approves. It is implemented by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs again, with the cooperation of security agencies. One of the function of the security agencies is cooperating in the implementation of the foreign policy. This is their role, direct or indirect, declared or declared, formal or informal, but they must be involved. It is not true that foreign policy takes years to change. Yes, it takes years. It is not like foreign policy, you will not like daily, you will be making your foreign policies, because the trends, the undercurrents in the world don't change daily. As the situations in the world change, So we should also be exactly, Iram Yasmin, flexibility must be the essence of foreign policy. Very good point. Flexibility. This is what I want to tell you, that we must be flexible, not rigid. Rigidity, like North Korea, that is, very rigid. They don't compromise. You cannot, even in our daily lives, a rigid person, a stubborn person, a person that takes the thing in an absolute way is not liked by anybody. We must have elasticity. In one of the ingredient of happiness is elasticity, that we must be elastic. We must not be rigid. Good. So there is controversy, and there are many controversies. This is why foreign policy is a social science. Foreign policy is part of political science, international relations. It is not part of chemistry or biology or physics. So there are controversies. There are approaches to foreign policy. But as I was telling, that some people, they have the myths that the security agencies and those should not be part of the foreign policy. So I'm trying to tell you that they are the eyes of a state. They must provide input. And the things change. There was a time that, as I said, Afghanistan, Mujahideen, that was the fashion. Everybody was talking. You might have seen the people with those long hair and, with the weapons in their hands and with big those pickups and going from village to village. So at that time, if you get some free mercenaries, some people who are helping you in the Kashmir cause or Afghanistan cause, so why not? But personally, I think that that is not a professional way. World does not recognize if you hire such people who are not professional foreign policy makers or foreign policy implementers. That is not a wise approach. We should go for the professional people who can understand. Decision of Musharraf. Again, Musharraf could not go against the world superpower. And one of the policy of Musharraf I like personally, these views are personal. These are not, I'm not the spokesperson of Minister of Foreign Affairs at this time. Personal, I'm on Facebook personal account, not on any official account. I loved the idea of Musharraf that Pakistan should be first and enlightened moderation. These two words, enlightened moderation and Pakistan first. This is national interest. Whatever Musharraf did and didn't do, my approach is eclectic. Eclecticism. Please try to understand this term. Eclecticism. Eclecticism means to take good from everywhere. If you find good in any person, don't reject the person or ideology totally. There is totally you are wrong and I am totally right. This is not my approach. This is not the approach of an eclectic person. Eclecticism tell you take good from everywhere. So Musharraf had these two good things, and I love it. I like it. First Pakistan and enlightened moderation. And today, in the foreign policy, the word moderate is there. This is part of our foreign policy now. We must be moderate. We can't be extremist. We can't take, extreme positions in foreign policy. It cannot be. We must be intelligent. Intelligence means the mental capability of adjustment with available environment. If you go to psychology books and you see what is intelligent or what is intelligence, so you will see mental capability of adjustment with available environment. You cannot take your mind and behavior everywhere, that the world should do what I want. No, you do what the world wants, because you're part of the world. You are a microcosm and the world is a macrocosm. You are working in a system, in a world system. There is United Nations. There are different countries, and you have trade, you have aid, you have development, you have many other agendas. You cannot decide things in isolation. So when you are discussing foreign policy, so please, Numan Afridi, defensive realism is new realism, stand up words that each state should strive for power, not for excessive power, which could attract other states. Exactly. Again, intelligence. You should not be that much power, then you get the anger of another person. Then you have jealousy and you have competition, you have contrast, you are, in a kind of conflict. So don't go for conflicts. Your power should be, the power should be for you, not for others. Don't use your power against others. This is the basic principles of foreign policy. Okay, now this drones, and this is the sovereignty. No compromise on sovereignty. This is again the basic principles of foreign policy. That if somebody is coming to your land mass, your space, which is because each state, these are the basics of political science, that sovereignty, land, the people, the population, these are the basics in the state, the government. So how if a person comes to your state without your permission? No, this is why you see, we are opposing it. If Pakistan doesn't oppose drones, we don't stop it. Maybe because of technology, maybe some wise or intelligent policy, we can't counteract it. But at least we oppose it. If you don't oppose the drones, so it means that you are compromising on our sovereignty. You cannot, there are some things on which you cannot compromise. Like on the state of Pakistan, you can't compromise. You can't make a foreign policy against the state of Pakistan. Yes, there should be no flexibility on the sovereignty of Pakistan, and the people of Pakistan, and the land of Pakistan. There is no compromise because these are permanent parameters. You cannot go beyond that. You cannot change these parameters. Please write the comments short, like 1-2 lines, not a paragraph. Point out is a major ally Pakistan of US, then why they frame such type of policy for Pakistan. And okay, we blame others. United States will do things for their national interest, not for our national interest. And we will do things for our national interest, not for the national interest of United States. So there is a paradox, a self-contradiction. We should try to find the common ground where we can get maximum benefit from United States, and United States will try to get maximum benefits from Pakistan. So this is foreign policy. This is diplomacy. Negotiations. War is also part of the foreign policy, war, but that is the last step. A country may go sometimes on war also. This is a reality. You cannot deny the reality of war, that all the time peace, peace, and peace. No, there can be war, and there were wars in our history. War makes you strong. We should not feel shy that why we had 2 or 3 wars in our history. Although we might have lost, we lost the East Pakistan in 1971 war, but that was an experience. If your army or your military or your air force and navy, that is not tested, so then what for? War is there if it is really indispensable. Although diplomat is your front line soldier. Diplomat, they are fighting their war on daily basis. But if there is no other way, then the Ministry of Foreign Affairs decides to go on war. At that time, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they take the hold. There are, clashes in institutions. Sometimes, one institution becomes stronger and the other becomes weak. But this again depends on the institution. It again depends that if you are doing your job, why sometimes military and army, they come in civilian matters? Maybe this is their fault, but maybe this is the fault of the civilian people. Why they don't organize their things in a proper way? If you can't make your own home in order and somebody else comes, so at least half of the fault is yours, not theirs. Because sometime in love, sometime in patriotism, you take steps which the other people don't understand. But in your perspective, that is better for your foreign policy. So step 1, Samir Khan, Pakistan should withdraw her tribesmen and troops from whole of Kashmir. Once Pakistan withdraw, and the same is confirmed. Please write small comments so I can read it and I can comment on that. Because then another comment comes and it goes up. I can't see it. Small. And you may repeat the comments. So if we go our history, we should not be shy. My basic thing is that we should have confidence in our foreign policy. We should not blame all the times our foreign policy, and we should not tell people that our foreign policy is made by army or by security agencies, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is doing nothing, or the parliament or the legislature is doing nothing. No, this is not the case. The reality is this, that they have their input, but there are more than 100 embassies of Pakistan in the world. Only 20% people come from political or other grounds. All of others ambassadors, they are career diplomats. They are from the foreign service of Pakistan, and they are playing. But sometimes we see an ambassador in a prominent capital like Washington or London, and he or she is not from foreign service. So we think that the whole foreign policy is made by other people. No, this is not the case. Why are not we friends with Israel? Is this just an emotional decision? So foreign policy is also the reflection of the people of Pakistan, what the people of Pakistan think. As I said, the 4 parameters: sovereignty, land, people, and state or government. That is important for a state. So if people of Pakistan, for example, Jordan, Egypt, Turkey, even there, I think they have embassies in Israel. Forget about the diplomatic relations. Saudi Arabia is going closer to Israel. Israel is the only developed democracy in Middle East, the only country which is also democracy and which is also developed, the only country. And one small Israel, if Israel wants, because of the power that they have, they can destroy the whole Arab or Muslim world 3 times in 1 minute. This is what I saw in one analysis of the power that Israel has. So maybe tomorrow, after 10 years, after 5 years, the people of Pakistan in the streets, they think that Israel should be our ally. So then the government, the legislature, the members of parliament, they represent the people of Pakistan. So then they may, but sometimes you can't take risk. The people, the protest, and then all the things. Why Israel? This is a paradox. These are the realities of foreign policy. That Palestine, is a very good friend. The state of Palestine, it is recognized or not, is a very good friend of India. And Arabs, they are very good friends of India. They will never talk on Kashmir openly. They will never support. Maybe sometime Azerbaijan or Iran, you see some very clear stand on Kashmir, but others will never. And we all the time, this is Al-Quds Day, and this is Palestine Day, and this is, maybe it is our religious or spiritual links, but very good question. We should not feel shy to discuss such things. Again, rationalism tells us that we should at least discuss. If we can't do things, but why not at least? Today it is idea, tomorrow it will be in action. So again, comments. Okay, so we are talking about the foreign policy, which is a sensitive area. It is not an easy area, because sometimes you cannot tell everything in foreign policy. Because foreign policy, you are dealing with other countries. You cannot be like enemy of your own people. You must be transparent, 100% transparent with your own people inside Pakistan. But when you are talking about other countries, so in other countries, there may be some countries which are the well-wishers of Pakistan, and there are others which may not be the well-wishers of Pakistan. So patriotism tells you that you must be analytical, rational in the foreign policy of Pakistan. So my today understanding, that you please make it understand that foreign policy is formulated by different agencies. Every agency, I mean every different departments, they give their input. People of Pakistan, media, journalism, mass communication is also a part of the foreign policy making tool or instrument. You cannot make your foreign policy in isolation. Golden foreign policy, Tariq Ali Baloch. Yes. So the words like golden, and these are not correct words. We should try to use the terms of international relations and political science when we are discussing the foreign policy of Pakistan. So I already discussed the Aghajan on the Rohingya issue. Pakistan's stance. This is, I'm talking as a person, not as a representative of Pakistan. But I said that our approach must be rational on the Rohingya issue. Our foreign policy, as the Prime Minister of Pakistan the other day spoke excellently in the United Nations, and he used the words humanitarian on Rohingya issue. And he also said that Pakistan should not be the scapegoat. Nobody should, like utilize us. We should not be nincompoops. We should not be stupid people to be used by others. This is the approach of a confident country. If the country is country and they have a strong foreign policy, so they will talk like that. To almost 200 people, heads of the state and heads of the government present there are important ministers, and you are saying like that. So this is, courage. The Prime Minister of Pakistan is the representative of the government and state of Pakistan. Forget about our political affiliation, but we must support the government and state of Pakistan in such issues where we feel that yes, they are representing us in a proper way. Our foreign policy is superb in theory. The vision of Jinnah is second to none. Then why is our foreign policy not appreciated at the global forum? Who says that our foreign policy is not appreciated? Pakistani diplomats are considered to be the finest diplomats in the world. This is our own inferiority complex, that we think that we are nothing. Pakistan is 46 in GDP. Pakistan is 36 in PPP. Pakistan is 36 in the happiness index in the world. Pakistan is 6th in the population. Pakistan is the 6th declared nuclear power of the world. And this nuclear power, the deterrence which it gives us, this must boost our confidence. If somebody talks against you, it doesn't mean that you have really some problem. We must be confident. Our foreign policy is appreciated by the world. At that time, if we were against USSR and we were supporting Mujahideen and we were fighting the war, and now even the other day I read a news that in ISI, now they are increasing more civilian participation. They are recruiting people more from the civilian things. So the things change. Your reaction to the situation. Now there is more peace in the world. So then we are also changing according to the situation. My question, according to United Nations Resolution number 1948, the UN plebiscite in Kashmir should be held in the following manner. Pakistan should withdraw our tribes from whole once Pakistan withdraw, and the same is confirmed. Okay. Kashmir issue is one of the pillar of our foreign policy. It is written on the website of Minister of Foreign Affairs. We don't feel shy on Kashmir, but our approach is the same, that is plebiscite. We are not going to attack the occupied Kashmir again in a defense, in a military way, but we are representing Kashmiris, and we are putting pressure on the world that they should listen to Kashmiris, their humanitarian and human rights issues, because the world now understands a different language, and that language is democracy, that language is humanitarian issue, human rights. So when you talk to them and look at Kashmir from this angle, then they will understand you. So now the shift in our foreign policy is more on human rights, humanitarian grounds, and you will see there will be an impact if Kashmiris themselves also becomes, proactive, and they talk and they tell the world what is going on in Kashmir, in the occupied Kashmir. So then the people will automatically listen. Now the people are getting sensitization. The world, because of the wrong policy approach, sometimes the world misunderstands you. The people think that Kashmir is a territorial dispute. That is a dispute between Pakistan and India. So on such things, the people don't take sides. They always try to remain neutral. Our foreign policy is not on decline. Our foreign policy is, getting strength and strength with the passage of time, because of information technology and because of modern tools. Now you get the news in 1 second, and then your response. I don't remember that there was always a foreign office spokesperson, but now there are almost weekly regular sessions, and we are telling to the world what is our foreign policy and what we are doing. So foreign policy of Pakistan, 3 words: foreign policy Pakistan. This is the foreign policy of Pakistan. So Pakistan must be first. And this is for the foreign countries. This is not for inside Pakistan. So sometime the people of Pakistan who are inside, they want that the army of Pakistan must now go and attack Myanmar. But this is not the foreign policy, because the foreign element is important. We must go for the foreign policy in the rational way, looking from all the angles. Will the Trump South Asia policy be the cause of change in foreign policy? Trump will talk because for the national interest of United Nations. And we, Pakistanis, will talk what are our national interests. If our national interests coincide with Trump, so even we will accept what the Trump tells us. This is the problem, that the concept or the perception of Trump, that Trump is a very bad person. We should not meet him. We should not, sideline him. No. If Trump tells us something for our benefit, why not? What matters? That is my national interest, not the national interest of other countries. This is the basic parameter. Hafsa Umar, she said that should we go for trade? So war is one of the foreign policy tool. The other tool is sanctions. You see, United States sometimes put sanctions on North Korea, Iran, or other countries. So this is the second. And the third, negotiations. We negotiate, talk to each other, okay, on common grounds, and then we take decisions. And the fourth one, that is trade, that we must go on trade. Even India, that we don't have political or other good relations with India, but trade is going on. It was going on, according to the latest news. There would be, buses from Anwaga border, and the people, they would sell us onion and tomato, and we would be also selling them maybe your pharmaceutical or other products, textile products. So trade is something which should not be mixed with foreign policy in that sense. That the typical foreign policy, which is the political angle, we must go for a trade with each and every country, because when we go for trade, so we import good products. But this must be the wise decision of the foreign policy makers, that what we are importing. For example, we are spending millions of dollars on the import of tea, the black tea leaves from Kenya, Sri Lanka, and other countries. That is not a good product. Why not we grow our own tea? And why tea is that much important? Tea is not a good, part of a balanced diet. So although that is a very common drink in Pakistan, we should encourage other imports like high-tech technology. The things should come from the other countries which are of some value to us. Why we spend such a huge money on edible oil? So foreign policy must advise the people, the importers and exporters, that we should have good the commodities which are better for our economy. Otherwise, we should make our own edible oil. We should make our own tea. We may import high technological products, and then we make our own industry strong, and then we export to other countries. This should be our trade policy. So trade policy is a reflection of our foreign policy. It is a part. And then culture is very important. The next pillar of foreign policy, that is culture. The soft image, the soft power of Pakistan, that is important. Because if you are very good in some products, But if the people are security conscious, they don't want to come to you people. If, for example, if they want to come and they said, okay, we have to cover our face if we want to walk in Anarkali, Lahore, so we must wear a burqa and then we can go. So nobody will come to Pakistan. We should tell our culture that our hospitality, we should have, our culture is so strong in that sense that hospitality is in our blood. We welcome the guests, and we should not impose our dress code or our cultural norms and values on other people. So this is the cultural policy is also very important, that my culture is for me, but I cannot impose my religion or my culture on others. The other day I went to a Gurdwara, a Sikh worship place, and I put that piece of cloth on my head. I covered my head. It was a respect to them. But they did not impose this thing on me. If I do it on my own free will, why not? So culture is again a very important part of foreign policy. Politics, commerce, culture. These three are the important pillars of the foreign policy of any country, including Pakistan. So Muhammad Asad Qureshi say that if any state has harsh policy towards us, Pakistan, then what should be our policy towards the state, that state? Exactly. Reciprocity. Reciprocity is one of the important parameter of foreign policy. As it is in each individual life, action and reaction. This is a physical law, Newton law, action and reaction. So if it is true in physical, natural, exact sciences, why not it should be true in foreign policy? If somebody is harsh, we should be harsh, but we should try to find out a way to make that state soft first. Try to use our diplomacy. This is why we have foreign policy. If everybody is harsh and the other person harsh, so this is not the empire's time. The Westphalia Treaty, you might have read in political science, before that there would be harsh and soft. But now the foreign policy is to make the people soft. This is your challenge. Somebody gives you a threat. So we should not have a jerk reaction. You give a threat, so I will also give you a threat. No, try to see why this person is harsh psychologically. Being an educationist, in a way, how, for example, a student in a classroom does not respond to your teaching. So will you beat? You will become harsh? No. This is flexibility. This is the challenge in foreign policy. If you understand this point, so you understand foreign policy. If somebody is harsh, even we have our embassy in North Korea, because we have good relations with North Korea. This is the greatness of Pakistan, the foreign policy of Pakistan. Nobody tells us, close your embassy in North Korea or in Iran, for example. That's why I think that our foreign policy is not in doldrums. It is not in a dilapidated condition that the people think that we are doing bad. No. Law of attraction, positivity. If you think that you are doing well, then you will increase your. We are very good. Our relations with China. China is a communist country. That is not a Muslim country. That's not a capitalist country politically. But we are having such an excellent relations. We made the way, paved the way to United States to have good relations with China. You know, we played our role in important foreign policy. In United Nations, I have been in United Nations and I saw that other diplomats, they recognize the role of Pakistani diplomats in United Nations. And they think that Pakistani diplomats are very seasoned diplomats in United Nations when they are working on candidatures. Because, you know, if you want to become member of UNESCO or UNICEF or Security Council, non-permanent members, so you have to get more people on your side. So that negotiations are very interesting. Okay, Hina Javed, Compare foreign policy of Pakistan with China. China is the world's second economy, so they want first to become #1 economy. So their foreign policy is totally focused on economic diplomacy, economics, money, more and more economy, more and more development. CPEC is one of their foreign policy tool. They are implementing CPEC in 6 corridors. One is CPEC in Pakistan. So they are very strong on economics. And a time will come that China will also be like United States intervening in other countries, because this is power. When you have power, so you must go to do something in other countries also. Liberalists think that human rights, like Canada, foreign policy of Canada, human rights is the pillar of the foreign policy of Canada. If there is human rights issue, so you will see the reaction of Canada, the first reaction maybe in that human rights issue, because they made it, being a liberalist country, they think that human rights is more important. They may not intervene in other political conflicts, but on human rights, yes. So China, for them, economics. But this geostrategic position of Pakistan, we have neighbors like India, Iran, Afghanistan. So our focus is more political and then economic. A time will come that Pakistan will also understand that, and it is now, economic diplomacy is becoming so much important for Pakistan also, because we have a lot of exports. We must have products. And how we can get products in our country if we diversify our products. Diversification of the products and diversification of the markets. We have traditional textile, rice, surgical instruments, and what else? These are our 4-5 export products. Why we cannot make our simple cellular phone, a mobile phone? Today I'm inviting the attention of our industrialists that why, if we cannot make our own car like Suzuki or Honda or Mitsubishi, so we can make one Pakistani phone, small gadget, just totally made in Pakistan, not somebody else's technology. It is very easy. Why not one of our export products would be a cellular phone, a mobile phone? So that is the approach of China, because money makes the mayor go. Okay, sir, not appreciated because often foreign media calls us a failed state. Foreign media may call you a failed state, but the reality is that we are not a failed state. Even no country is a failed state in the world. South Sudan, Somalia, Afghanistan are not failed states. These are just terminologies. Failed state means that you, even, if you see the budget of United States, so there is a terminology and they use it, shutting down of the government. That maybe for 1 to 4 days, they shut down the government. They don't pay to the government employees, and then they put pressure on Congress to pass the budget. So these are just terminologies. Don't go just only the words. Failed state. No state is failed in the world. Even Somalia is not failed, so how Pakistan can be failed? This is just jargon. Don't go for such words. Why our support is not given much worth around the world, sir? Wasim Mumtaz. Our passport, okay. Because, because of the foreign policies, again, the reflection of our internal policies. People of Pakistan, I remember I was in Argentina and we had concurrent accreditation to Ecuador. Ecuador is a small country in South America. Concurrent accreditation means that you don't have an embassy, but you cover, you control, manage the relation with their country, because we have more than 100 embassies and there are 200 embassies in the world. So our foreign policy, we cannot make embassy like United States or China. Almost in each country they have embassy. And there are countries like maybe Grenada in West Indies, they have 4 or 5 embassies in the world. We have more than 100. So Ecuador made free entry for Pakistanis. Every Pakistani can go and can enter in Ecuador. And after a few years, Pakistan is did such illegal stuff there. They involved in drug trafficking, and they started illegal businesses, and they were using Ecuador land to go illegally to other countries. And then Ecuador had to impose ban on Pakistanis. So this is again a problem in our country, that the people think that if you go to other countries, Hina Javed, I think I compared the foreign policy of Pakistan with China, that we have our geostrategic problems. That's why economy is not our number one priority, but our priority is also political. But China focuses only on economic diplomacy, although China is very much political in South China Sea issue. They will not compromise on that. They won't compromise on Taiwan. They got back their Hong Kong. Those are political moves, political steps. Coming back to the passport issue, so this is the problem, that Pakistanis think that if I go to Ecuador, or maybe to some small country, Belize, or if they go some African country, Kenya, or maybe some Angola, and they think that if I go outside Pakistan, so everything will be all right. No, this is not the case. If you use your maybe $100,000, or I don't know how much is the price of, if you go to other countries, the ticket and others. So if you use that money in Pakistan and you invest, maybe you get better, and you are away from your family, from your parents, from your wife, from your children, and you are in other countries. So today I try to tell you people that please, Hamza Khan, this Raymond David and such issues are events. These are not foreign policy pillars. Such events do happen in the country history. We also sometimes, if a Pakistan is kidnapped or Pakistan is caught in other countries, so we also try our level best to release our Pakistani. So our passport will get more importance if Pakistanis, they go and they live legally in other countries, because the people look to the people of Pakistan, how they behave. They go to other countries and they seek asylum, and they talk against Pakistan, that Pakistan is a bad country, Pakistan has a lot of human rights issues, Pakistan has this and that. So the people listen to them, and that's why they didn't have sanctions or foreign traveling advisory, and then your passport, they come down. Even today, there are, I think, more than 20, 30 countries in the world that Pakistanis have free entry. But for God's sake, please don't do anything bad in those countries. Otherwise, you will be also banned from those countries without visa. There was a time that in 1960s and 70s, not 70s, but 60s and 50s, I heard that people, they would go to England without visa. Pakistanis would go to England without visa, just on passport. But today, the things are changing because of our situation. Is there any independence option for Kashmir according to Pakistan's perspective? Our perspective is ask the people of Kashmir. Very simple approach. What the people of Kashmir decide, then we will go on that stand. We can't say Kashmir should be independent or not. Why strategic position of Pakistan is significant? It is significant, Hina Javed, because we are in South Asia, we are closer to Central Asia, Southeast Asia, China, and then Arabian Sea, Middle East. Look at the location of Pakistan. Now, Canada is a developed country, member of G8, but Canada has only one neighbor, and that is United States, and they have good relations with the United States. So foreign policy of Canada will be totally different from the foreign policy of Pakistan, because in Pakistan, our geostrategic position is totally different. our neighbors. World has no good relation with Iran. Iran has problems with Pakistan on sectarian issues. On borders with Iran and Pakistan, daily things happen. And then, although we have good relations with China, thanks that now the Xinjiang issue, the Muslims, that kind of extremism in the Kashmir and Muslim territories in China, that is under control. Otherwise, we would endanger our relations even with China. And now China is with Myanmar, not with Rohingya Muslims. So if we take some foreign policy stand, then we can endanger our excellent relations with China. So these are the challenges, these are the parameters, these are interesting things, the foreign policy. This is not easy. This is not your policy that you make to run a country. Asif Khwaja, states have army and our army has state. It is true? No, not at all. There were dictatorships and army rule and martial laws in many other countries also. Now the trend is, it is not the same trend as it was in past. In 1960s and 70s, the situation was different. Now we are in 2017, the things are different. The army understand their role and they are not the enemies of Pakistan. We should be bold to talk on such issues. If a civilian organization is not doing well, and if, for example, army, they have very good defense societies run maybe directly or indirectly by them. But we also have Bahariya development, that society, Bahariya Kalun, what's the name of that? They also have very good infrastructure. Bahariya, that is a totally civilian project. So we should not blame if a cantonment area is better than a civilian area. So the credit must go to the army or the cantonment managers. Why our municipal committee, our Nazims and assistant commissioners and deputy commissioners, they are not providing good environment? They have the same budget. So if somebody is utilizing their resources in a proper way, so we should not blame them. Army, security agencies, that is part of the government. We cannot deny their role, but they don't have a state. These are again slogans of the enemies of Pakistan, making the people of Pakistan to feel inferior, that look, your army is ruling and you are doing nothing. Pakistan is 220 million people country. So it doesn't mean that we have some 600,000 army. It is their role is to protect Pakistan, the national interest of Pakistan, when there is a war, when there is an armed conflict, when there is a humanitarian issue inside Pakistan, natural disasters, their role that has been defined. So we will, we will progress. Pakistan is just a very nascent, a very new country. Hamza Khan, hypocrisy, letting Raymond David. I already tell that these are events. Raymond David issue, that is an event, and such events happen, and they took a legal cover for that. They did not take it like just came back like they took Osama bin Laden. That is another issue, another challenge to our foreign policy makers. But Raymond David issue was totally different. They took all the legal means, and after fulfilling the legal requirements, they took him back. Hafsa, what is national interest? Do the statements and agencies have consensus on national interest of state, or do they advance their own interests? Good question. Analytical. This is the problem in Pakistan, that the people, even a common Pakistani citizen, will be not that much patriotic and will think my interest comes first, and then come the interest of Pakistan or my province or my party or my institution or anything. So this is a reality. This is a human reality, because in psychology we study egoism, that my interest is first, then come the interest of others. But when we talk about the state, the interest of the state, and all those who are involved in the interest of the state, national interest means nation, good for everybody. Yesterday, I delivered a lecture on political science, and I discussed that what is politics. Politics means taking decisions which affect each and every citizen of the country. That is called politics. So when your decision affects each and every person, then that is called national interest, because that is the interest of each and every Pakistani out of the 220 million Pakistanis. And that's why we must be very intelligent, wise, taking decisions which affects other. If I take a decision that I should wear this color of t-shirt, or I should shave with this razor, that is my personal decision. It will only affect me. But the national interest is when it affects everybody. So if there are some loopholes, if there are some issues, so we are learning, we are developing, and if it is, I try to provoke your thoughts to be critical thinkers. But critical thinking doesn't mean to always talk negative in a negative way. That is not the thing. Okay, Hafsa, you are asking so many questions. Why, and it's good, ask questions, please. Why does Pakistan not allow India transit route to Afghanistan? Should we do so? You know, these are sweeping statements. Why, how we will not allow somebody else route through Pakistan? This is not the way. Why not India and Afghanistan talk to Pakistan that we will have a route, a transit route, and this will be for the benefit of both Pakistan, three parties, Pakistan, India, and Afghanistan. We are working on tripartite negotiations. We are trying to bring gas and natural resources from Central Asia through Afghanistan to Pakistan, then to India. India is part of that project, which is very important project. So yes, as I said, economics should not be mixed with politics. And if there is a workable policy or workable plan or project, so why not? We must go for that. Okay. What is the role of economics in formulating the foreign policy? Naina Power. I already discussed the pillars of the foreign policy, and one of the pillars is economics. There was a time that the work of a diplomat was only political relations. But now we are receiving instructions from our headquarters that not only politics, but also economics. And economics is more neutral, more objective, more beneficial for the people. तो मेरे ख्याल में मैं जरा उर्दू में कुछ बात करूं, आपको समझ ये आनी चाहिए कि फॉरेन पॉलिसी जो है वो एक बंदे का काम नहीं है, वो एक स्टेट का काम है. अब स्टेट जब पाकिस्तान की फॉरेन पॉलिसी बनाती है तो स्टेट को 220 मिलियन लोगों को भी देखना है, तमाम प्रोविंसेस को भी देखना है, लोगों की फीलिंग्स को भी देखना है, और फिर 200 और ममालिक को भी देखना है कि हम किस तरह और फॉरेन पॉलिसी बनाए कि इसका जो इम्पैक्ट है वो बाकी कंट्रीज पे क्या होगा और पाकिस्तान पे क्या होगा. तो ये एक बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग किस्म की गेम है. ये वो नहीं है कि हम इमोशनल वो करें कि भाई तलवार उठाओ और बंदूक उठाओ और जाओ दूसरे मुल्क पे हमला करो. नहीं, इससे पहले हमने पॉलिसी बनानी है, हमने प्लान बनाना है, मंसूबा साजी करनी है कि भाई हमारा जो रिलेशंस है बाकी कंट्रीज के साथ, सऊदी के साथ हमारे ताल्लुकात कैसे होंगे, ईरान के साथ कैसे होंगे. अब ये एक चैलेंज है क्योंकि ईरान और सऊदी के ताल्लुकात ठीक नहीं है. पाकिस्तान दरमियान में जो है ना एक कुर्बानी का बकरा बन गया है. अब हम क्या करें, किस तरह फ्लेक्सिबल हो जाए कि ईरान के साथ भी ताल्लुकात सही रखे, सऊदी के साथ भी रखे, नॉर्थ कोरिया के साथ भी रखे, चाइना के साथ भी, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स के साथ भी, यूरोप के साथ भी, रशिया के साथ भी, ये कितना जो है ना एक पेचीदा काम है, ये कोई सादा काम नहीं है। आप देखें ना, आप अपनी जिंदगी में देखें कि अपने स्कूल कॉलेज में देखें कि भाई कितने लोगों के साथ आप अच्छे ताल्लुकात बना सकते हैं। एक के साथ बनाते हो तो दूसरा रूठ जाता है, उसके साथ बनाते हो तो फिर तीसरा कहता है कि भाई आपने क्या किया। तो ये इसको कहते हैं मेंढकों का तोल। आप एक मेंढक को डालते हैं उसमें तराजू में तो दूसरा भाग जाता है। तो ये इन तमाम चीजों को मिलाना और एक ऐसी पॉलिसी बनाना कि वो सबके लिए काबिल कबूल हो, ये आसान काम नहीं है, ये एक मुश्किल काम है। और इस मुश्किल काम को करने के लिए हमें दानाई चाहिए, हिकमत चाहिए, अकल चाहिए, जज्बात नहीं। वरना आप एक ऐसी स्टेप उठाओगे कि फिर एक ऐसा कदम उठाओगे कि उस पर आपको बड़े मसाइल हो सकते हैं दुनिया में। तो खारजा जो पॉलिसी है उसका बनाना जो है वो मुख्तलिफ स्टेट के लोगों का काम है, उससे फॉरेन ऑफिस नहीं बनाता, न उसको बनाना चाहिए। उसके बाद जब बन जाए तो उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करना जो है वो फॉरेन मिनिस्ट्री में फॉरेन अफेयर्स का काम है। जो फॉरेन मिनिस्टर, जो वजीर खारजा है, उसके तहत वो काम करते हैं। और उसके बाद जो है ना वो फिर पूरी दुनिया में हम अपनी फॉरेन पॉलिसी को, अपनी खारजा पॉलिसी को हम इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं, उसको अमली शक्ल जो है ना वो देते हैं। अब ये काम जो है एक डिप्लोमेट का काम है। अब वो डिप्लोमेट जो है वो कैरियर डिप्लोमेट हो सकता है। कैरियर डिप्लोमेट का मतलब कि आपने CSS किया, आपने फॉरेन सर्विस ज्वाइन किया, फॉरेन सर्विस में आप असिस्टेंट डायरेक्टर है मिनिस्टर ऑफ फॉरेन अफेयर्स में। बाहर जब आप जाएंगे तो आप थर्ड सेक्रेटरी होते हैं, उसके बाद जो है ना फिर आपकी तरक्की होती है और अब एक दिन आप सफीर बन जाते हैं। तो वो सफीर जो है वो कभी कभी बाकी जगहों से भी आते हैं, लेकिन जो नेचर के डिप्लोमेट्स है, सफारतकार है, वो कभी भी किसी दूसरी जगह से नहीं आ सकते। लोगों के जहन में ये है कि भाई ये जो है ना कोई भी बंदा जाके सफारतकार बन सकता है। तो सफारतकार और सफीर में बहुत बड़ा फर्क है, इसको आपको समझ आनी चाहिए। सफारतकार जो है वो, why not agriculture is part of foreign policy because of our country is like 70% on agriculture, sir. Tariq Baloch, excellent. Agriculture is part of our economy. So if economy or economics is part of our foreign policy, so why not agriculture? And yes, many people, they go to Pakistan on agricultural projects. I issue visas to many Canadians. They go to Pakistan. They go to Faisalabad Agriculture University. They go to other agriculture universities in different parts of the country. They talk to our agriculture scientists on varieties, how to produce, what is the name of their variety, cultivable, that what should be like progressive farming, modern agriculture techniques. So we are cooperating with the world, and our PARC, Pakistan Agriculture Research Council, and NARC, National Agriculture Research Council, they are on relations with other countries, their research bodies. We cannot like send farmers to Pakistan to grow plants and crops for us, but yes, scientists, they must go, agriculture scientists, and we must like what is called technically per acre production. So per acre, how our production, our yield should increase. Very good point. Agriculture is part of this. Now, Sophia Babar, even India had more blasts than us last year. Our issue is rather good image depiction instead of security issue. Very good, Sufyan. This is called soft power. Pakistan must have soft power. We cannot influence people just on hard power, that we are a nuclear power and we have strong military, and no. Soft power is very important. You might have heard our local proverb that if you can kill somebody with sweet, why with poison? What is the need of weapons and arsenals and destructive material? Why not we make a person in a soft way? The image of Pakistan, that is very important, no doubt. You know, I talked the other day that people will, Pakistanis, I was in Spain, in Salamanca, a small city, and I saw a board, Indian food. So I went inside just to have some taste of Indian food. And the man, when I started talking to him in Spanish, and then the accent, I understood that he's maybe from our part of the world. So he was from Pakistan, he was from Lahore, and he was running Indian restaurant. So I asked him, why, what the hell, why you don't put Pakistan on your, this is, the food is Pakistani. It is not Indian food, because Hindus, they don't eat meat. They don't eat beef. They don't eat mutton. They don't eat chicken. Even some, they don't eat eggs. So how 90% of your dishes here are Pakistani dishes, not Indian dishes. So this is called soft image. Then he, changed the name to that Pak India food. So these are the things which are very important for the sake of the soft image of Pakistan. Our movies, dramas, very important. But if you are ninja burkas to the world you are presenting, so I don't think that we can make our soft image. Personally, I don't think that I'm not in the favor of that image of Pakistan. We were exporting, if we are exporting, we should not be mudaisus gawachus. Those people, go to Dubai, and you will see Dubai to be a Europe totally, and they are Arabs. They are more Muslims than us. So, religion, my personal approach, we should not make it imposing on others. La ikraha fi deen. We should not impose our religious values and our religious concepts on others. Lakum deenukum waliya deen. There is a lot of flexibility, a lot of elasticity even within the religion, but we become more like there are problems, so I will write the word comments, so I should see the other comments which are coming. How we will promote the positive image of Pakistan, Hafsa? The positive image of Pakistan will be promoted by each and every Pakistani, 220 million people, each and every one. They must promote the soft image. There may be 500 diplomats, but each and every Pakistani is the ambassador of Pakistan if you are inside Pakistan or if you are outside Pakistan. Remember this thing, because the people look at you from a Pakistani angle. What you do, so then the image of Pakistan, that will be made. If you are dealing with people, be honest, be true. Okay, don't come on shortcuts. This is the Pakistani mentality, shortcuts. People ask me, how can I do CSS? Please give me 5 books. I want to do CSS. What is a shortcut? So if you want to do CSS by shortcuts, so how we can promote our image to the world? That is not possible. Aisha Zafar, an eye for an eye only ends up making the whole world blind. Exactly. That is the, the total mutual destruction. That if you have a nuclear bomb and another person also has a nuclear bomb, so neither you will be there nor she or he will be there. So eye for eye, if every time we are like eagles and we are like what is the term for that, every time very hard, so then there will be a chaos in the world. So we must give our soft image to the world, that we are flexible people, we are educated people, we are the people who can understand the undercurrents of the world. Many people, my mother once she told me that everybody in the world is Muslim. So I said, no, there are in each sex Muslims, only one is Muslim. Oh, really? This is very strange. This was the news. So we think that everybody is Muslim and everybody must listen to me as a Muslim and everybody must become Muslim. This is not a reality. In each 6-7 person, only one is Muslim. So why we say Assalamu alaikum to everybody? To everybody we say Inshallah, Alhamdulillah. Maybe that person is not Muslim. So why we are imposing here in Canada, you can't ask somebody what is your religion, because that is the private matter. But we are imposing, even in our foreign policy, we are imposing our religion on others. That is not good for religion. You are defaming religion when you are imposing your religion on others. If somebody comes to your religion with a free, sweet will, most welcome. But we cannot impose. This imposition is totally a wrong way in foreign policies. Foreign policy of Pakistan with Russia. Russia has a strong country, Hania Chaudhry, and Putin is a kind of benevolent dictator. And Russia is the world's largest in geography, and it remained, USSR, a power. Still, it is a veto power in the world. And I have been to Russia. Inside Russia, there is a lot of development. Although they have human rights issues, but Russia, a lot of natural resources from Siberia, Moscow, Petersburg. If you go, you will see such a huge country with such a huge, natural resources. So the foreign policy of Russia and the foreign policy of Pakistan will be totally different. Russia is a veto power. Pakistan is not a veto power. Pakistan is part of the Coffee Club. Have you heard the word Coffee Club? And Pakistan is part of the United Nations. We sometimes become the non-permanent member of Security Council, but we are not the veto power. This is a reality. Accept it. If you like it or not, but accept it that there are veto powers in the world, and Russia is one of that. Russia dictates its terms on others. In Syria, we saw the Russian policy when Russia wanted that what is the name? Assad should not be dislocated, so he's still there. But Russia didn't want in the case of Egypt, Iraq, Libya. So you see, they were just like cards. No more is there Hosni Mubarak and Gaddafi and that other Saddam Hussein. So Russia has its importance in the world. We must recognize that Russia is still a big power, and their policy will be totally different from Pakistan. A time will come that Pakistan will also become a strong country. If Singapore, a small country, becomes strong, why not Pakistan will become an important player? It is an important player, but not at the level of Russia or United States, China, Great Britain, and France. These are the veto powers because they remain colonial powers in the past. They have hundreds and hundreds of years, even thousands of years of their history. Pakistan is just a 70 years old country, so we have to do a lot of things in the future. People of advanced countries elect those who are sincere with their country. Exactly, Noman Ali Saidi. We people of Pakistan are very important, more important than the diplomats and foreign policy makers and MNAs and MPAs. If each Pakistani become conscious and to elect a person not on personality or not on biradari and tribal and language and other issues, and we look at that person's capability to represent you nationally and internationally, then you will see a big difference in the country. Because each and every Pakistani cannot go to the parliament or cannot go to the world. Education at Aish, but some people also question about CPEC. It is also in our national interest. Some call is another East India company. The other day, please, on my timeline, there is a video on CPEC, some 2 hours video. I discussed CPEC, that it is in our national interest. And if India tells us, don't go for CPEC because it goes through Gilgit and Kashmir, so it is a disputed area, and we listen to India and we stop CPEC, so that will be the loss, the end of Pakistan. We should not come in the propaganda of other countries. Be sincere with yourself and with your country. Let CPEC to continue. It is East India Company was 500 years back. It is not that time. Don't go for the slogans. These words, East India Company and this and that, these are just playing with your emotions, with your feelings. The people are trying to manipulate you by using such terminologies and words. Be conscious, be critical thinker. Look, that where is East India Company now? Nowhere. China Only economic diplomacy is their priority, nothing else. Okay. We are manufacturing our own mobile phones like Q Mobile. Good, Sufyan. Maybe, I don't know, somebody told me that Q Mobile is Chinese technology, but we are just manufacturing it in Pakistan. Or South Korean technology, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But Q Mobile, somebody told me that this is not Pakistani technology. Pakistani technology means that you make the chip, you make the cover, you make inside, everything inside Pakistan, and then you promote it, and then you export it. We also make Suzuki, and we also make Honda and Corollas, but this is not our technology. I don't know technically. The WTO experts will know, Sufyan, that we have the patent of Q Mobile or not. Do you know? The intellectual property rights. If it is the Q Mobile, Pakistan has the patent, then okay, I'm happy. But if Q Mobile, the patent of Q Mobile is with some other country, so that is not our mobile, that's not our cellular phone. The direction how to defend our state and highlight positive areas. Exactly, Hafsa. We must become self-confident. This is the problem, that we accept negative things so easily, and we become happy. Oh, we are just, and this our TV shows. This is also a big problem. Maybe they are not working on the national interest of Pakistan. They will be always highlighting negative areas of Pakistan. They will never talk of positive things. So Pakistan, no doubt there are problems in Pakistan. Poverty is there. You know, we are 220 million people, but 100 million people, 100 million. Canada is just 36 million people. 100 million people in Pakistan cannot write their name, because our definition of literacy is to write your own name, one of the prerequisite. So if 100 million people cannot write their name and they are using thumb impression, so we have problems, definitely. Unemployment. There are so many other socioeconomic problems. Even our culture is a big problem. We are not receptive. I talk sometimes to some female students, please make a small video or a small presentation. No. Totally, it is impossible for me. What the people will say. Then the people tease me. Then the people, they send me nasty messages. So this is our culture. These things must change. We must be gender sensitized. If somebody is female or male, that is because of biology. That is not because of the role that we give to them. We should be gender sensitized. Gender sensitization means we should look at a person as a person, not as a male or female. We see a female image or a female photo, so all of us, we are totally different. If there is a male, so we are, our reaction is not the same. This is our national psyche. No. Be, person-oriented, not gender or sex-oriented people. So, Agajan, you are saluting me. I am also saluting you, that you are listening to me, and there should be also blessings on you. Thank you very much for your feelings. I'm a spiritual person. I believe in spirituality, although I'm very rationalist. I look at things from a rational point of view, perspicacity, that the thing must be clear. 2 + 2, 4. This is the approach. The things must be crystal clear, candid, precise, concise. But we are, after all, human beings. So we have feelings, we have emotions. But those emotions must be expressed by spirituality. The tool for that is spirituality, not foreign policy, not politics, not economics, even not religion. So Asif Ali says, sir, how does domestic politics influence the foreign policy of a country? I give the example of Israel. Israel is the only developed democracy in Middle East, but we can't have relations with Israel because of the domestic politics. And I am sure that one day will come, the people will realize that why not we should get benefit of the technology. The trickle irrigation technology of Israel is the only technology in the world. They are masters of that. They don't flood their fields with water. They provide water, the irrigation water, to each and every plant individually. This technology is only in Israel. Maybe sometime we need that technology, so we will go to Israel and we will ask them. Muhammad Mustafa, compare foreign policy of Canada and Pakistan, please. Thank you so much. I think I refer to that. Canada is not a religious state. Canada is not a capitalist state in that sense. It is liberal democracy. So liberalism, now the government is of the Liberal Party, so they focus more on human rights and economy. NAFTA, which is the North Americans free trade area, they are now negotiating NAFTA with United States and Mexico. So the foreign policy of Canada is totally different because they have only one neighbor, and that is also United States. They spend, I think, less than 1% of their budget on defense because they don't have security issues. United States will never attack Canada. And I don't think there's some, now they're becoming conscious because North Korea say that they may send their missile to United States, and when they send their missile, so it will pass the space of Canada. So they are now interested in the ballistic missile technology, that if the North Korean missile comes, so at least they should have the technology to intercept that missile. So every country has its own policy. Is our Kashmir policy attracting attention of the world to resolve the issue? Wasim Mumtaz, if you talk to the world in their language, then they will understand you. It is reality. If Zabane Yari Man Turkiyas wa Man Turki Namidanam, if my love language is Turkish and I don't understand Turkish, so how that relationship will be promoted? Impossible. So that although you can use your body language and your gestures and other things, but language is important. So world understand the language of human rights, humanitarian issues. If we give more publicity, plebiscite, and United Nations resolutions, and Pakistan is doing on these grounds, then the people will understand. Kashmiris themselves should not make it a territorial dispute between. This is my personal observation, that the other day I met a person in Canada, and he was from occupied part of Kashmir. So I asked him that, please tell me the inside story. What is going on inside Kashmir? Is it just a propaganda, or only Pakistan is pushing it, or what is going on? So he told me that it is totally indigenous. The people of Kashmir, he was a very true person. He was in Canada. So Canada makes you true. This is the system in Canada, that Canada will make you true person, honest. You cannot tell lie. The system is like this. Here 10 p.m. is 10 p.m. and if there is a red light, so it is red light, it is not green light. And if it is a park, so it is a park. You cannot do things there which you do at your home. Your home is home and your park is park and your street is street. The things are well defined. So that person is living in Canada, so Canada will make you to be an honest person. So he told me honestly that it is an indigenous issue inside. But a very dangerous thing he told me, which is very important, that some people came from occupied Kashmir to the Pakistani Kashmir, and they didn't see very good things in Pakistani Kashmir, like economy and the quality of life and other things. So youth, they may think over it that if we join one day Pakistan, or then what will be our fate? What will be our destiny? What will be our future there? Is our future better in the big India, or our future is better in Pakistan? So even for Kashmir, we have to make our Pakistan strong. If we want to attract Kashmiris in the world, and then Kashmiris, if they want become part of Pakistan one day, so if Pakistan is itself in turmoil, in chaotic situation, so how Kashmiris would love to be part of Pakistan? So these are realities. If Azad Kashmir is a developed area and the people, they are having good quality of life, so automatically it will be an attraction, inspiration for the people of Kashmir. And the only way is that the people of Kashmir themselves demand the plebiscite, and Pakistan give them diplomatic and moral support. So then there will be a solution. And the people, the world is listening to us, because Pakistanis, we are also becoming wiser now with the passage of time, that the solution is not Hizbul Mujahideen kind of things. And if you, this is the problem now in Rohingya issue. You see the images of Al-Qaeda and others, and then the people, they become cautious, because security is very important for the world. A dog dies in the United States or Canada, so there are 3 days of news why the dog died. For them, life is very important. So when they see an image of terrorists and others, so then they become conscious and cautious. According to accepting refugees of Afghanistan is a burden on our economy and threat to our security. What we should, yes, Afghan refugees is again a humanitarian issue. At that time, we accepted them. Canada is also accepting refugees from Syria and other countries. So accepting refugees from the war-torn societies and countries, this is a goodwill gesture, and people recognize it. What is our soft image in the world? Our peacekeeping troops in the world. Number 1, Pakistan. Pakistan, I think now Turkey is number 1 in refugees. But Pakistan was number 1 in refugees, and the people listen to us that we are having so many refugees from Afghanistan. So this is again a soft image. If they are not becoming nasty and creating problems for Pakistan, Kalashnikov and drugs and heroin and other things, so we should treat them well. What goodwill we created. The other day, the famous that Afghan image girl, Sharbat Gula, she was, an icon for Pakistan. An icon, like Malala Yousafzai is an icon. So she was an icon, but we forced them to leave. We tolerated that beautiful child and then that young lady for so many years. But we could not cache her presence in Pakistan. We could deport her in a nice way with some ceremony, with her free sweet will, and on the border of Afghanistan and Pakistan, she could say, "Thank you, Pakistan, you kept me for such a long time, and I'm grateful, and I'm going to my country, but I will never forget Pakistan." So if she would say such words, so automatically the image of Pakistan will be boosted. But we unwise people, sometimes we are keeping the Afghan refugees. Now after so many decades, we are pushing them and treating them like in an inhuman way. So what the hell we got from that so many decades of their having with us? So be rational and wise. Sayyida Fatimi, thank you very much. That is not solo. Okay, teamwork, exactly. So teamwork is important, not solo flight. As I said, that behind a diplomat, you have your country, your parliament, your government, your security agencies, your people of Pakistan. Here in Canada, sometime, the other day, police called us that a Pakistani was caught in the credit card scam, the credit card fraud case. And then we had, our face down how to defend that Pakistani in a credit card fraud case. He used somebody else's credit card, because these people are honest, they're true, they will just give you the credit card and then you misuse it. So then, we cannot do the things in isolation. There should be kind of teamwork, exactly. Hafsa Umar, my Urdu is fine. It is fine. It is not very fine because, linguistically, Pashto and Urdu belong to 2 different groups. And the other day I said that as the word Chand, moon, is masculine in Urdu, Chand Nazar Aya. But Spogmai is feminine, that is not masculine. So we use the female gender for one word, and then sometimes we say Goda gas kati hai. So for that, be
tolerant and try to understand, because people have their linguistic background, so their accent and other things are determined by their linguistic background. So language, that is also an important tool, because English language is the official language of Pakistan. I support this thing that it must remain, although we should not ignore our national language Urdu and our regional languages. It must continue. We must have the regional languages also. I think I have 10 more minutes to go. For the last 1 hour and 50 minutes I was live. If you have some important questions, so please go ahead. If you have some sensitive issues, I don't care. I am talking as an individual, as a person, not as a foreign service officer. So ask anything which come in your mind. If you are bold, I am bold. I am with you. If you feel shy that some people will be against me and they will, I don't know what is this. Okay, now I know Muhammad. I can touch my this mobile. This Asad Qureshi. Why only Pakistani passport holders are not allowed in Israel? We made. This is the problem, Qureshi, Muhammad Asad Qureshi. Rumors. On our passport, it is written that you cannot go to Israel. This is not Israel which stops us. We stop ourselves not to go there. Okay, I'm just seeing the Waqas Khan, on which factors veto power granted. The veto power history in the international relations is this, that they were colonial powers. United States, France, Great Britain, China, Russia, today also they are powers. Germany was a power, but no more. Japan was a power, but no more. Hard power. Now they are becoming soft power, and a time will come that they will also become hard powers. So this was the power, authority. It is a reality in international relations. Rana Abu Bakr, does it affect our country in any way by not being in foreign policy with Israel? Yeah, we should have good relations with everybody. If we are not having good relations with Israel, it may not affect us. But if we don't have good relations or no relations with even a small country like Honduras, it will again affect us. We should have good relations with everybody. Why not? Including Israel. But if it is not in our national interest, if the people of Pakistan, they don't want, they are not yet ready to accept this reality, so we can wait. So this was about Israel. You people are more important. Okay. So yes, diplomats are more important because they implement, but the people are also important. We cannot go in isolation. Ataullah Khan, Q Mobiles is a Chinese-based company. Exactly. This is what I wanted to say. Ataullah, Q Mobile is not a Pakistani mobile. So we should have courage and honor. Our honor is only for women. We control our women and then we become, such a strong, brave person, gallantry. Our gallantry is only for women, to control them. But we cannot make a small mobile apparatus. Make a small gadget mobile. Tell the world, my honor is this. Government of Pakistan will never stop you not making a mobile set for the world. Your own patent. That is important. Your own patent. That should be the honor. Muhammad Waqas Khan, disagree from your facts and figures, 100 million. Okay. Sometime, I may not use correct. Pakistan is 220 million people. Our literacy rate is 50%. So half of 220 is 110. So I use 100 million. Maybe it is 80 million, maybe it is 50 million. Even if it is 1 million people in Pakistan, they cannot write their name. So it is a challenge to us. It is the question of honor. Why my mother cannot write her name. Okay, so this is a challenge. If it is not 100 million, maybe. I'm flexible in many things. I don't take stands on things that no, it is 100 million and then I will fight with you on that. No, it may be 50 million. But I just made 100 million because half of population of Pakistan is not literate. They may be educated, but they are not literate. Shoaib Rahman, is foreign policy is entrapped in imbroglio due to our manifold things, strategic location, religion. Exactly, yes. We are, in special circumstances. Our position, our geography, our religion, our, our neighbors. These things make the things difficult for us. But we will be strong enough to accept these challenges. There are challenges. Canada doesn't have any challenge, but we have challenges. Canada is such a big country, number 2 in the world in geography, and only 36 million people they have to take care of. 36 million in such a big country. And we are 220 million country in such a small country in geography. These things are realities. We must accept it. A brief overview of Pak-Russia ties, challenges and opportunities, some major areas to highlight. Saeed Hassan Shah. Russia is one of my favorite country, and I studied a lot on Russia, but maybe it become a part of my next lecture, because foreign policy is 200 countries, and with each country we have foreign policy different. So I cannot now talk, but Russia is important. We must take hold of Russia in our foreign policy. We have more than 60% people are young. Good. Youth, that is our asset. You know SWOT, 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 strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. We must go for SWOT analysis. Youth, our 60%, it is our asset. We must tell the world that our population is young. We have already this technology called dripping. Exactly. Okay. If we have the technology, we must use it. We should not flood our fields with canals. Canals is now an outdated technology. We must go for trickle irrigation system. But when I talked to Israel, they have implemented it everywhere, because that is a desert country. They don't have that much water. I am not like a spokesperson of Israel here, but I want to become rational in our approach. If our relation with Israel is really bad for us, we should not go for that. Be a critical thinker. Think over it. What Israel has disadvantages for us. What would be our foreign policy toward America, compare and what? Okay, our United States, that is the pillar of our foreign policy. I discussed in detail about the United States. What is the future of Afghanistan? Is Cold War going to start in Afghanistan? If it is so, Afghanistan is such a big challenge. I love Afghanistan. Being a Pashtun, I have sentiments for Afghanistan. The people of Pakistan, they must, take care of their own country. They should not blame Pakistan or other countries. Other day I was talking to an Afghan diplomat that if you are having good relations with India, why not? You are a sovereign country, but not at the cost of Pakistan. Because in foreign policy, in foreign relations, remember, I'm sorry for the proverb, but you can change your wife, but you cannot change your neighbor. So Afghanistan must be realistic. If you cannot change your neighbor, you have such a big border with Pakistan. How you can have bad relations with? This is in the national interest of Afghanistan to have good relations with Pakistan. We already have relations with China. We have relations with Iran. We have trying to have relations with India. We have a relation with the whole Europe. Europe have given us our exports a special status. We have excellent relation with Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Japan. Japan is our development partner. Number 1 development partner in Pakistan is Japan. So we don't have bad relations with the world. So this is in the national interest of Afghanistan to take Pakistan seriously, not to blame Pakistan for all their problems. What should be our foreign policy towards Afghanistan and India? As I said, start from economics and then we go towards politics. We should not start from politics and go towards economics. This is one of the okay. What you say about American new policies to South Asia? The American new policy to South Asia is a rationalist approach, a realist approach. If they put some pressure on Pakistan and they tell Pakistan do more, And if Pakistan is confident that we are doing, so we must tell United States that we are doing enough. And if there are problems and pitfalls in Pakistan, we must accept that and we should not do. If our enemy tells us something bad, we should have introspection inside, think over it. Or this is the problem, in Pakistan again. Research is Kuddi line in Pakistan. The Kuddi line people, they go to research. While in India, research is important now. In Canada, in the United States, they will spend billions of dollars on research. And we for shortcuts. Our emotional approach to things, that destroy us. Research, that is important. We must do research on things. Research is I must emphasize on research. I remember even in our foreign office, the research wing is, a third class. I'm sorry for the words. Sometimes I use these words, which I should not use. But, these things are not good. Ataullah Khan, what is the significance of atomic technology, both peaceful and strategic? Technology in one atom, if you have seen Einstein theory of relativity, special theory and general theory of relativity, and E is equal to mc square. So from one small particle of matter, we can produce energy for the whole city. And for a bigger one, we can produce energy for the whole country. So in France, for example, in 2040, they will no more petroleum or cars, no fossil fuels. Banned, they made a law. There will be no petroleum and diesel cars in. So nuclear technology is very important, both for our deterrence. If you have a gun, so the other person with a gun will not attack you. This is common sense. Although common sense is a sense which is not common. Okay. Asif Ali, sir, mostly the countries developed holding aggressive foreign policy towards others. Yes, you can be aggressive, but today, Pakistan, we should be peaceful and assertive, at least. Assertive, not aggressive. Reality is this. Elements of foreign policy. Enlist the determinants of foreign policy, Anum Malik. Number one, national interest, sovereignty, peaceful relations with neighbors. There was a time that we were talking too much about the Muslim world and Muslim world. But the Muslim world, we were talking to the Muslim world, and the Muslim world, Egypt and Syria and others, they were communist socialist countries. So that was a wrong approach. Even they were not talking about Islam, and we are talking to them about Islam. So although we should have good relations with the Muslim world, but this is why OIC is a toothless tiger, because the association, these are my personal remarks, not official. So OIC is a toothless tiger because we use religion there. If you use politics, economics, culture, then it will be more effective. And the determinants of foreign policy, please go to the MOFA, Minister of Foreign Affairs website, so you will have the list there. Pirzada, what is the world language? As you said, you should talk. The world language is democracy, development, human rights, progress. These are the language of the world. So if we talk to the world that there is democratically, human rights, humanitarian wise, Kashmir is an important issue, so then they will listen to you. What is the future of Afghanistan? Okay, I discussed this, the future of Afghanistan. The people of Afghanistan must take hold of things. They must take steps in their own national interest, not reactionary to others. Russian policy towards Pakistan is excellent. They are taking Pakistan to be an important country, and Russia is now focusing on Pakistan. It's now no more the Cold War era. Now the world is different. Sir, in olden times, the image of Pakistan was very good, but nowadays, yes, because of 1979. 1979 is a very important year in our history. Think over it. Why? Afghanistan, Iranian revolution, and our Mujahideen support, then inspiration, local inspiration from Mujahideen there. then our own terrorism and these things. So then our image, our people, our population is increasing too much. Our economic needs are becoming too much. Role of diplomacy is diplomacy, a tool to achieve foreign policy goals, or it is something that defines foreign policy. Foreign policy is formulated by parliament, legislature, security agencies, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and when an officer of the Minister of Foreign Affairs go in outside, then he becomes or she becomes a diplomat. Then she or he implement that foreign policy. Foreign policy in diplomacy. Okay. Is Pakistan going on isolation? No. Pakistan will be never on isolation. These are just slogans. People, world need Pakistan. You cannot do without Pakistan. So how Pakistan will be in isolation? Totally propaganda. No basis, no rational approach. Norway already eliminated petroleum vehicles. Good point, Waqas Khan. Yes. Norway, Scandinavia, whenever you have a chance, please read Scandinavian countries. I love Scandinavian countries. Denmark, Finland, Norway. They are so true to their people. And the happiest country in the world is Denmark. And then maybe Costa Rica, another country. There is, a little controversy that which is the happiest country, Denmark, Norway, or Costa Rica. So they have already eliminated. So if they eliminated petroleum vehicles, we should also go for that. Clean, green technology. Nuclear, maybe, but peaceful purposes. For deterrence, yes, we can use it against our enemies. Okay, Mia Khaliq, thank you. Thank you very much for listening. If something was missing, so I'm sorry for that. We can continue such discussions. Peace within and outside. Exactly, Hafsa. If we inside is a peace-loving country, so then we will also give a kind of yes. I got up early and it is morning time here, so a little tired and hunger, so I will go for my lunch. Thank you very much for listening and participation. Foreign policy is complicated. It is not easy, so I will be unable to, may not be able to explain it in one go, but please be confident, try to understand the reality, and don't be against your own institutions. Those institutions have to perform their duties. They don't listen or they don't think what others will say. They have to do their things in that sense. So all the best. Thank you very much. If there are more questions, so you can write the questions on my timeline or on the CSP's Academy. I'm thankful to the CSP's Academy. My lecture is totally free. Maybe they have some other system of their membership, but I just use the platform for their members and for others. So thank you, Khalil, for your cooperation and time. I don't know really the exact details of the CSP's Academy, but it may be a good institution. People should go and judge themselves. I'm not against formal education for the CSS preparation, but we must identify who are good and who are bad, because this is called money value. So if you are giving money, so you must get the benefit. If you are not getting the benefit, so that is totally useless. Then you are a stupid, a foolish person if somebody is robbing you and you are not responding in an intelligent way. My services are totally free, and anything, anywhere, I am at your disposal. Thank you very much. We will remain in touch. All the best.